So let's break down the American English vowels for you one by one, really help you build an understanding of what the sound is, how it's spelled, what accent error patterns you might have for it, and how to correct your speech for vowels. So vowel I, which I call the pink pig vowel, is a high front lax vowel. My tongue is a little bit lower than it is for the E of green tea, and this is a vowel that often you may not have in your native language. If you do have it, it may be that you have more of a rounded and higher E kind of vowel, and that's not the same. So this I vowel has no lip rounding, and it's not tense like the E. Let's break it down, how it's spelled, accent error patterns to watch out for, etc. So as I mentioned, I call it pink pig because it's typically and most commonly spelled with letter I. So about 95% of the time, if you see letter I and it's the main stressed vowel of the word, it's going to be this I sound. So that's the first thing to watch out for, that you may associate letter I with the E sound, but in English we spell that with EE or EA. So it's, in this case, not equal. Letter I usually says I rather than E, so watching out for spelling. We do have a few other exceptions to this spelling. So in words like busy or business, we're spelling that with letter U. In the word pretty, we spell it with letter E, so it would be more logical to spell it this way. In the word bin in American English, that's the same as this bin, so I've been taking out the garbage bin. These are really uncommon spellings, as is this one. So the main spelling you need to know about for this vowel is letter I. You really want to see letter I and think I, like in did, big, it, etc. Main error pattern is using the E sound or making the sound too high or too tense. When we look at that vowel quadrangle and we have the high front E and the high front I, there is a space in between. So what will happen is people will tend to do something a little bit in between these two vowels. So you might not be saying eat and deed fully. You might be saying eat and did with not having your tongue low enough. So there is kind of an in-between. The vowel sounds exist on a continuum. So really what you want to be doing for this vowel is making a strong separation between eat and it, between deed and did, etc. Especially happens on words like live and leave. And so what I always encourage when you're trying to work on the I vowel is match two words together. So for example, it lives, did it did, so that you're hearing, no matter whether the word is long or short, you're able to keep that I sound consistent. When the word is longer in something like it did, you might find it easier to do that I sound in the shorter unstressed word, and then you find yourself drifting higher, it did instead of it did. If you can match and really keep your vowel consistent for these two word pairs, that's going to be very helpful in establishing this I sound. It's also important to listen to these high front vowels, to these lax vowels like I, if they're not in your native language. Hearing that distinction between eat and it, trying to imitate it, trying to get that in your brain will help your sound system in your brain start to differentiate that. Another suggestion I have for this I vowel is that you can work on it in conjunction with the next two vowels we're going to talk about, with the black cat vowel and the red tent vowel. These three, like in bit, bet, and bat, tend to give people a lot of trouble. And so when you work on all of them and you're able to establish that we need to have three placements there, with the I being the highest and the being the most open, it can really start to help you fill in those gaps. Because right now in your native language, you might have an E and then more of an ah here, and your language might be missing these lax vowels in the front. And so sometimes going from the more open to the more closed, like bat, bet, bit, or the other direction, bit, bet, bat, can be very helpful. So we'll talk about those techniques as we're looking at these lax front vowels. but recognizing the way they're spelled and what biases you may have for those can be extremely helpful. So that's what I would suggest with the I vowel. The other error that I sometimes hear, primarily with Arabic speakers, is that they may go a little too open and use a little bit more of an eh sound instead of an I sound, because Arabic doesn't have this I and they tend to open too much. Most of the errors for I, though, are using the tense E instead. Let's just do a quick review. We had the E vowel in green tea, the I vowel in pink pig, the E vowel in red tent, the A vowel in black cat, and the A diphthong in gray day. These are the front vowels for American English. You can get more help and more details on each of these in my videos for those, and in our Sounds of English course, we'll go through in detail how to correct accent error patterns you may have on those sounds, common words they're in, practice materials for you to really solidify those vowel sounds. So I hope you'll check that out. It's our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. Thanks so much for being with me today for this vowel lesson for the front vowels of American English.